Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Happy Thursday, everyone. We are back to our normal selves after yesterday's fun Halloween show. We have Gerard and Elise as always on the couch joining us today.
You're back, right?
We're back.
Okay.
We're back.
Okay.
Yeah, back
today.
We are not British today, unfortunately. You had to
It was good fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Gerard, always on the agriculture beat. What's going on today?
Well, VBP Plus, Verified Beef Production Plus. So we're going to find out some more about that. We're going to meet someone who does the auditing.
All right,
Yeah.
cool, very cool. And then Elise on the world of sports.
Yeah, so Lloyd Comp Barons volleyball action. They're getting ready to head off into their fall playoffs, so lots of good stuff going on there.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to both those stories,
Nice,
but right now
nice.
we're going to go check in with our Brett Holden, who's tossing. No, he's not tossing the balls. He's hitting some balls.
Yeah.
I'm here at the batting cages at Heavy Hitters, and today we're going to be talking to Brett Chambers, who's going to show me some of the stuff that you need to know before you head into the cages, as well as, even though it is heading into winter and is the off season, that it's never too early to get ready for next season. So like I said, we're going to be talking about some of the stuff that is wrong with my swing and how we can fix that, and how you can come down here whether you're an elite player or you're just coming for date night. Let's head it back to you guys in studio.
Awesome, thank you, Brett. Well, instead of trick-or-treating, some high school students pulled a trick to help out the community. Our Cassandra Hornsby reports on how they pulled it off.
Students at the Holy Rosary lined up to help the St. Anthony's Church Halloween for Hunger. Students went around trick-or-treating, but instead of asking for treats, they asked for food and hygiene items. The school believes having kids get involved with this can help them become more connected to the community.
It's very important so that we can help those that are less fortunate in our community to be able to get the things that they need to survive on a day-to-day basis.
Food items were for the Halloween for Hunger, and hygiene items were for the Baby Project. The Baby Project started 2 years ago by a group of grade 12 students who wanted to make a difference for families in our community.
Well, I think it's a good learning experience to find out that it's really the right thing to do to help others in need, whether it's within our community or even within our world.
Holy Rosary has been putting on this donation drive for more than 7 years. If you missed the donation drive last night, you can still donate by contacting the school and making arrangements.
I think it's beneficial to them because you can really learn and see how much it helps, and you just get this really great feeling and be like, hey, I'm helping somebody that I don't even know, and it'll be great.
For Primetime Local News, I'm Cassandra Hornsby.
And well, many kids are used to going door to door for trick-or-treating in communities, but in Bonnyville, not only do they do that, they put the finishing touch on their pillowcase at the Candy Carnival. Justin Marshall caught up with the organizers at the event.
Well, candy tastes good here at the Candy Carnival. Pastor Graham joined with me right now. It's a sea of candy.
Yeah, it's a bunch of candy, a bunch of kids, a lot of fun.
How many years has the Candy Carnival been going on here in Bonnyville?
This has been going on for about 8 years now.
And why do you do it?
We just love to do events for the community, free events that get families out, and obviously we love to give out a lot of candy.
That's amazing. What are some of the things that kids can do here on Halloween at the Candy Carnival?
Well, we've got all kinds of games all over our church. We have a clown here who's twisting a bunch of balloons. You can do balloon pop, bowling. You can do some giant kerplunk.
It's not falling.
You got to pull out more stuff. Just keep pulling things out, and all the balls fall. Of course, everything you get more candy for. We've got mini basketball. You can throw different things at your favorite Disney characters, and of course see all the costumes.
Well, and most important, lots of candy for the kids.
Lots of candy.
That's amazing. Well, thanks to the Bonnyville Baptist Church here at the Candy Carnival. It's a great time. For Primetime Local News, I'm Ant-Man.
Well, thank you, Ant-Man. The extended screen time has an impact on each of us, and now the city is looking to help people disconnect with the help of a little box. The Disconnect Box is an idea to help families disconnect from their cell phones and reconnect with each other by deciding times to put them into the box over the 2 weeks. Although the concept may seem silly, some say that the popularity of digital screens makes disconnecting harder than it seems.
We talk about like being online versus offline. There really isn't a distinction anymore because they're pretty much online all the time, right? And they're connected pretty much constantly, whether it's via social media or more passive forms of like watching videos, stuff like that, listening to music, streaming music.
This comes after the city premiered the film Screenagers, exploring the impacts of extended stream time on young people. And the boxes can be picked up at a city hall, the Service Sports Center, Midwest Family Connections, or made right at home. The city is giving away gift baskets to participants selected in a draw. And for more information, you can visit the city's website. And now we're going to head back to Brett, who is at the batting cages today.
Hey, I'm here with Brett Chambers, and he is a former Iowa Cub and opened up heavy hitters in May of 2017. Now, Brett, you have all sorts of groups coming in here, but what are kind of some of the groups that you don't necessarily expect come in, but you do wish to come in?
Well, we have a bunch of training that we do. We also have a bunch of slow pitch community that comes out here. I didn't expect how much we have of that, but it has been fantastic. So I can't complain about that. The training groups are, again, like I said, great. We have a bunch of all the way from 7 years old all the way to 18 years old.
Now, you guys run all throughout the season, and the off season is kind of the most important time for you guys. Why is that instead of in season?
That is where you do most of your work. As a ball player, softball player, it doesn't matter. That's when you do most of your work. Yes, you continue throughout the season, but this is where you really hone your skills in order to be ready for a season.
So in a little bit here, Brett's going to be showing me some of the stuff that he teaches, some of his students and some of his groups as well, and maybe I'll learn a little something. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, thank you so much, Brett. Well, now that it's November, we're definitely getting into those winter-like temperatures. Sitting at -1 right now. It was a dreary, overcast day. Look at these records, though. 11 back in 1987 and -26. Luckily, we're not quite there. That was back in 1984. As we look to our satellite radar, here's the precipitation that's starting to make its way into our area. We are going to see some of this hit tomorrow. Just plenty of cloud cover continues into our area. Watches and warnings, none for our immediate area, but as we look down southwest here, there is freezing rain warning as precipitation could be starting, and then because we are under those freezing marks, it could be freezing, so do take caution if you are headed down southwest there. Current temperatures, though, -1 here in the border city, 1 degree in Edmonton, 2 in Edson, 4 in Jasper, 2 in Rocky Mountain House, and then up in Whitecourt, 0 there, and also 0 in Athabasca. Over on the Saskatchewan side, numbers are looking pretty much the same. 1 degree in North Battleford, 2 for Saskatoon, -3 for Melfort, and -1 for Prince Albert. So as we look to our numbers for the broadcast region, 1 degree currently in North Battleford, overnight going to -5. Tomorrow only going to reach a daytime high of -1, and we could see some precipitation or those flurries starting into the morning, on and off throughout the day, but the brunt of it is going to come tomorrow evening. Cold Lake, -2 currently. That cloud cover is going to get even thicker overnight to -3 for the overnight low. Going to feel more like -9 with the wind in effect. Tomorrow only 0, and we are going to see those flurries for most of the regions tomorrow. So -1 currently here in the border city, dipping down to -4, and then tomorrow only reaching a daytime high of -1. So tomorrow is when we are going to see that snowfall. The majority of it is going to come into the evening hours, so do be cautious if you're on the road. I'll have a map of that precipitation coming up a little bit later, but as we look to the weekend, 1 degree for Saturday, and then Sunday we are going to see some possible freezing rain and some rain action there. 3 degrees and -4 for the low. I'll have your details, including how much snow we could be seeing, coming up a little bit later in the show.
Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Welcome back. Well, Stockade Roundup is underway at the Lloyd X grounds, and today the Maine and Jew held their breed show. Our Cassandra Hornsby has the details.
Gary Graham of Manitou, Maine and Jew exhibited 4 head at the Roundup this year.
I've been in full-blood managed cattle since I was 20 years old, and I love the cattle because they're quiet, easy keeping cattle, and we've been crossed with a lot of other breeds over the years.
Maine and Jew originated in France and were brought to Canada in the 1960s. Judge Scott Shackey describes the breed as being used to beefen up existing cattle in North America.
It wasn't until really the late 60s, early 70s when they started to have a huge impact in our industry down in the United States. And them, along with several other breeds that we called the European breeds, had a big change in how our cattle appeared and looked in the 70s and the 80s.
Shackey says the Maine and Jew breed has distinct characteristics.
We probably don't see them as big framed as we did in the 60s. We've reduced the frame a little bit, but they're still very muscular. They're great mothers. They make really good mothers because they milk well, and obviously from the standpoint of production of red meat, they do a really good job with that.
For Primetime Local News, I'm Cassandra Hornsby.
And now we're going to take a look at your stock market prices for today.
More from the world of agriculture now. The word sounds invasive and yes, scary, but when it comes to cattle, it's the next logical step to position the industry in a changing marketplace. In this week's Agriculture Report, I meet an auditor who's also been audited.
Thanks very much.
When cattle producers get together for annual meetings, it's a good time to talk about changes facing the industry.
Verified Beef is a nonprofit group, so we're just here to implement the program. And
Tina Leverton ranches with her family near Outlook. They have about 70 cow-calf pairs. The drought has made it difficult for them, and they will be moving some of their cows. She's also an auditor with VBP+.
when it's audit time, someone like me would come out to the farm and we go over the records that the farmer would keep, and we look at their facilities and their cattle, and we sit down and talk about all kinds of important issues, and then I submit my findings back to COI.
When Saskatchewan ranchers do the online program, they can get in touch with the Cattlemen's Association, who will then send out an auditor to do the verification process.
And verified beef was developed so that producers could actually then prove it.
That's Coy Schillenberg, who is the point man in the process at Saskatchewan Cattlemen's Association. The auditing process is not scary. Leverton has had her place audited as well. The process involves the data which producers are already collecting.
Treatment records are a big thing. We want to make sure that any animals that are getting treated stay on the farm until their withdrawals are over, so that we're producing a safe product for the consumer. And that's something that a lot of producers are doing all the time. And the audit process is just another pair of eyes validating that we are indeed doing what we're saying we're doing.
Auditors like Leverton are reassuring and encouraging fellow producers to sign up for Verified Beef Plus as the industry moves towards greater sustainability and positioning their product to meet consumer demands.
It's a conversation around your coffee table, and it's more conversation outside. It's not painful at all, because like I said, a lot of our producers are doing an excellent job already, so we're just validating that.
This Ag Report is brought to you by the Lloydminster Co-op Agro Center. Depend on them for product, tools, and expert advice. Shop at your local Lloyd Co-op Agro Center with branch locations in Lashburn and Neilburg.
That's our agriculture news. Let's check those ag prices.
Every member of the City Centre Auto Body team has been through extensive training. We're constantly upgrading our team's education to reflect current collision repair technique.
Well, the fall playoff season for high school sports is about to begin in Lloydminster, and that marks a new era for the volleyball programs. The Lloyd Comp Barons women's team has a short break before competing in Saskatchewan district play-ins for the first time and are eager for the challenge. Josh Ryan has more.
Heading into the season, expectations weren't high for the women's volleyball team at Lloyd Comp. However, tournament after tournament, they've proved doubters wrong.
Very smart, and they're hard workers. So there's been multiple games where we've been down by a few points, and they've come back and they've shocked me and they've shocked the crowd. I think we were often seen as the underdogs because we don't have a lot of height. But when they see the grit that we have on the court, it usually comes back to bite the other team.
This includes a strong showing at the Barons Blast tournament, where they won a pair of matches against crosstown rival Holy Rosary.
Went undefeated all tournament until the final game, which we lost 2 sets to North Battleford Comp. So we were really happy with our showing at the home tournament.
Making the adjustment to more Saskatchewan competition came in an interesting year, with a small core of veterans having to lead by example.
It's just cool getting to know their weaknesses and strengths and how I'm going to be able to help them as the season goes on.
After 2 months of steady tournament play, they have a week to gather themselves before they try to qualify out of the region.
This week we just get to work on a lot of the small things since we have this weekend off, and then going into our districts we'll be really well prepared.
Going through qualification rather than enjoying an automatic berth to compete at provincials brings new pressure, but it's a pressure that the group is looking forward to.
For us, that's really exciting. We want to compete, and when we get to provincials, we want to deserve to be there, and it's going to be a hard region, but if we go and we work, I think we can do it.
Josh Ryan, Primetime Local Sports.
And the Lloyd Comp Barons begin their provincial push tomorrow afternoon at Armstrong Field. The Barons host Holy Trinity from Fort McMurray as part of regional qualification. Lloydminster remains the top-ranked Tier 2 program in the province with a 10-0 record. Kickoff is at 4 p.m. And now we're going to head back to Brett Holden, who is at the batting cages today.
Hey, I'm back here with Brett, and he's going to show me some of the skills that I'm going to need before I head into the cage. Yeah, I felt kind of uneven there.
Absolutely.
So what's kind of some of the stuff that I need to make sure that I am even and still?
So as for with my trainings, I'll show you, get square up to the plate, bend your knees, hips bend a little bit, shoulders forward, hands up by your ear. Just relax both elbows, hands up. And now all you're gonna do is drive in and stay inside in the zone. Keep your head to the zone. Yeah, exactly. Let's try one. And now you're fully even, ready to go, right?
Absolutely. So let's head into the cage now. I think I might be ready. So Brett, how did I do?
Well, when I looked at your analysis on your video there, you actually were staying pretty unbalanced on your front foot, as well as you weren't fully in the zone when you were coming around swinging. So if we can work on that and also keeping those elbows in nice and tight, as when we go to deliver to that ball, you'll have a way more success.
Absolutely. I felt what I was really trying to focus on more was trying to keep that elbow down, but it was just kind of a natural thing with that elbow.
That's the thing when you've played your whole life, and my dad was the same way. Keep that elbow up, keep that elbow up. And now it's keep that elbow in, nice and tight, keep your swing compact.
Absolutely, sounds good. So coming up, I am going to try and work on those flaws that I had. Let's head back to the studio.
Brett, starting off with this photo right here. Very fitting as we are seeing some frost and some snow in the forecast. That was sent to us by Holly. Thank you so much for sending that in. As we look to our numbers, definitely starting to feel that November chill. So -1 currently here in the border city, -1 also in Vermilion. A little bit cooler at 0 in Vegreville, and then still in the plus in Edmonton. So 1 degree there, 1 degree in St. Paul, 1 for Bonnyville, -2 already in Cold Lake. Over on the Saskatchewan side, 1 degree in Macklin, 1 degree in North Battleford, 1 degree also in Maidstone, and then 0 degrees in St. Walburg. As we move up north, sitting at -3 in La Ronge, -3 in Flin Flon, South End also at -3. So pretty much the same number across the board up north in Saskatchewan. 0 degrees in Slave Lake, -1 in Peace River, and also in Grand Prairie, also sitting at -1. As we look south, though, a little bit warmer. 5 degrees in Banff, 4 degrees in Calgary, 5 in Lethbridge, and 5 also in Medicine Hat. As we move a little bit further on the map here into the Saskatchewan side, 5 degrees in Estevan, 3 degrees in Moose Jaw, 1 degree currently in Swift Current. Here is where the snow is coming into play. So this is Friday. As you can see, it's going to be coming in. We are sitting in that 2 to 4 centimeter range, but we are going to see temperatures into the pluses on Saturday. So hopefully it's not going to stick around, but do keep in mind if you are going to do any traveling plans that you look at the road conditions, as that we are going to see it on and off starting into the morning, but we could see it moving into the evening is when we are going to see the brunt of that snow. Numbers for tomorrow, only reaching a daytime high of -1 here in Lloydminster. Most of the area is going to be affected by that snowfall. Edmonton, Vegreville, Vermilion, North Battleford, all currently going to see that snowfall tomorrow. All have snow in the forecast. For the kids heading off to school tomorrow, -3, we're going to see that snow start to fall. Recess time, -2 again at the lunch hour, and then home time, -2 again. The snow should be kind of tapered off by the time there, but then back again at supper time. So tomorrow, -1, -4 for the low. Saturday, no snow in the forecast, 25% chance, and we are going to be 1 degree, -7 for the low. Sunday is when we could start to see some rain, and because we are going to see -4, that could turn into some slick road conditions, so make sure you keep an eye on road conditions. Monday is when we are going to stay just in the negative, so -3 for the daytime high. Tuesday, -5. Look at that, -13 for the low. Wednesday, the sunshine's going to come out at least -5 there, -11, so a little bit warmer. But then Thursday, a -14 for the low and -8 for the daytime high. So November's here, and it's bringing its cold, chilly numbers and the snow with it.
And now we're going to head back to Brett Holden, who is learning something new at the batting cages.
Brett joins me again, and Brett, we did kind of focus on the baseball aspect, but
Absolutely.
that's not the only thing you do here.
No, it's not. We have a winter program just starting sign-ups today for baseball and softball. So we've included Donnie Atkinson as a head instructor for the softball side, as well as myself, and it's for the whole surrounding areas.
So it's all ages can come with, whether
Absolutely.
you're an expert or you're just starting out, right?
All age groups, all calibers. It does not matter. We will have training for every single caliber of player, every single age.
So you have the teams and you have the players who come out, but do you have to be a player necessarily to come out as well?
No, not at all. We have a recreational side of this as well. Like, it's not just for elite, it's not just for first-time players. It can be date night. It could be come out, just have some fun. We are a fully licensed facility, so it's always a good time to have fun, right?
Absolutely, and I know it's heavy hitters, but you don't necessarily only focus on the batting as well.
No, we are broad for all baseball and softball. So we do train for pitching, catching, infield, outfield. It doesn't matter. We have it all.
And just quickly, with a facility like this, how can you facilitate all of those positions as well?
So as far as the infield, outfield, we do a bunch of like drop steps, as well as the infield. We work on bad hops. We work on our footwork. So there's endless opportunity.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for taking this time today, Brett. We really appreciate it. Let's head back to you guys in the studio.
All right, well, obviously yesterday was Halloween, so that was our question of the day. How many trick-or-treaters did you get? It seems people will get a lot one year, they're underprepared, the next year they're overprepared. They didn't get so many kids, they got a lot of leftover candy. So I just want to read some of the numbers we got. So Sherry got 1,078 trick-or-treaters in Bonnyville. She said kids were lined up at her house.
I can really imagine that.
Could you? I've never seen that many kids anywhere.
Lots of candy, I guess.
Yeah, you were saying you guys got maybe about...
We got about 7 came by our place there. By the time I got home, of course, then I was all done. But yeah, 1,000.
That is crazy. Some of the other ones, Siobhan says they got about 100 kids. Landon says they got 14, so he has a lot of chips left over for himself. And Brent says 127. Janice is 170. So looks like, I guess the good weather probably.
Good weather, yeah. It's probably
but
the best Halloween ever we've seen in, I can't remember.
Yeah, long time. I guess the record was 12 degrees back in the 80s. So, yeah. So, anyways, you still have time to weigh in. Let us know how many trick-or-treaters you got at your door. Hopefully not 1,000. I feel like that's
It'd run out of
crazy.
candy after
run out of
50?
candy. Anyways, let's get to our pets of the day because, of course, they're always adorable. So here we go. This is Cheyenne, the pup. This was sent to us by Celine. Thank you so much for sending that shot in. Next up, we have no name here, but I just named it Cat on a Horse because that's amazing. Apparently, this cat likes to ride horses all the time. That was sent to us by Rania. We have Odie next, a nice close-up shot of Odie. That was sent to us by Jean. We also have Rush, the poodle, very cute. That was sent to us by Janelle.
Good Canadian band, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. And then this is Shelby. I'm not sure which cat it is, but Ali says that Shelby always finds a spot, so I'm assuming it's the one on top. If you have a pet and you would like to see them here on Primetime Local News, make sure you send us a photo. Please include their name, and if you see them on the show, you will be entered to win a gift card to Pet Pad Lloydminster, which we draw for every Friday.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
Back here at the batting cages, and yes, I did learn how my swing may not be ready for the majors. My foot was in the wrong position, and I was dragging a little bit, but that's all from what Brett has taught me. And even though we did focus on baseball and softball as well and hitting, we can focus on defense here as well, add heavy hitters, and with winter camp just starting and with the off season here as well, it's never too late to get started. We'll be back in the next hour and focusing on how you can get ready to get into the cage and focus on your fundamentals. Let's head it back into the studio and we'll see you again in the next hour.
All right, thank you so much, Brett. Unfortunately, I don't have very good baseball weather for outside, but good weather if you want to hit the batting cages. Tomorrow, the snow is going to start to come, 76% chance there. We are going to see it starting into the morning and then on and off throughout the day, and then the evening is when we're going to get the brunt of it. So -1 for the daytime high, -4 for the low. Saturday above the freezing mark there, 1 degree, -7 though for the low. 3 degrees on Sunday. We could see some rain, and because we are going to hit the freezing overnight, it could be some slick road conditions, so do keep an eye on that. Monday, -3 only for the daytime high, hitting -8 for the low. Tuesday, a little bit cooler at -5, -13. We're getting into those double digits, and that's not even including the wind chill.